One thing that it's important to remember about progressives in particular, when it comes to their fetishization of native cultures, is that this fetishization is entirely aesthetic. They view it as a kind of, oh, look at the precious native culture. Their ways must be preserved from us evil, imperialistic, materialistic capitalists, right? Because they themselves have no idea or love of the kind of aesthetic. And when I say this, we're talking about the sort of, moral and artistic and the way the things are in a human sense. They've got no sense of that for their own culture because it's been beaten out of them by 100 years of pure materialism and anti-religious sentiment and things like this. So anything that is supposed to be artistic and appreciated about our own culture is eroded. This is why you get all of the progressives. They never say this anymore, but white people have no culture. They used to say this all the time. Now this is just such an obvious nonsense statement because there's no such thing as humans without a culture. There's no such thing. But they were conditioned to have it beaten out of them that any of these things are particular to Western European culture, right? And in fact, more specifically, the individual nations of Western Europe. And so if they view these things as not particular to us, then they think, they must be universal to everyone. And this is another point about the progressives. These are universal values. No, not really. They're definitely not universally held. They claim as a constituency all people on Earth, but most people on Earth don't ascribe to them. And so they have no conception of what Western particularism is like. And so when they see local particularism in, say, India, Reza Aslan goes down there, oh yeah, I will eat that human brain. Thanks, and this is your delicate... Did you not see this?
No, I remember you talking about it, yeah.
He unironically ate human brain because some lunatic in India was doing it. So yeah, but it's his precious native culture, it's his religion, it's all this... Who cares? You're eating a human brain, right? But what they can do is create that kind of aesthetic bubble where they say, right, the rules, like any piece of art is, anything aesthetic creates its own rules. It creates a kind of little pocket universe in our own heads, right? Where the rules are different. So you understand like the concept of universes in science fiction, right? So the Star Wars universe, the Star Trek universe, they've got different rules. They operate on different themes and different logic, and you recognize one from the other, and that's what they're doing with these native cultures. But they refuse to do it with our own culture, because we have that sort of aesthetic value for British culture and British standards. And so you've got to uphold the standards. You've got to do certain things. So you go to the tea room, you drink the tea, you eat the scone with the jam and cream on it, and that's what you do when you're in England, because that's the correct thing to do in England. And so Reza Aslan takes that mentality. He doesn't apply it here, but he does apply it in India to eat a human brain. And that's what all the progressives fetishizing native cultures that otherwise, if they were being done, recommended by any of the people over here, they'd probably be strung up and tarred and feathered, if we should...
Rightfully. I mean, this is the best thing
yes.
about being British, is we have a nice history of going over there, finding someone...
Tarring and feathering them, yeah.
Burning his woman with him when he dies, and being like, right, anyone who does that's getting hung.
Yeah,
Simple
that's literally what we did in India.
Yeah,
and God only knows what other things we found in Africa that we had to stamp out. But that's the point. We didn't say, oh well, if it's your precious little native aesthetic culture,
they burn their wives alive.
Yeah, exactly. So no, that's genuine human suffering, and we're here to stop that.
By the rope until dead.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the rule.
This is the civilization of the world, the civilizing of the world, and this is why the progressives are actually no help at all to any native cultures anywhere.
I mean, you see how ignorant Yankee it is as well. They're like, white culture is American, and then that's English, that you don't know anything.
Yeah, but that's the sort of moral impetus behind it all, and it's bad. Frankly, it's hypocritical, and it's bad for the people who they think that they're helping, because they are preserving a native culture, but they're also allowing that native culture to continue to victimize the people within it. And there are going to be many people in that culture who don't hold the power in the hierarchy of the culture, who probably would actually not like to get sacrificed to the volcano god or burned alive because their husband died or things like that. And these, if you care about human rights, should be more than enough of a motivation for you to say, look, okay, I don't want to take away your native culture, but maybe that part of it kind of has to stop. If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 p.m. UK time on lotuseaters.com.